Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to Gundam. Your weekly online, technically local, technically not, because we're not exactly local to anywhere. Because we're local everywhere, and when you're local everywhere, you're local nowhere. You are something more than local. I am once again joined by... well, no one this week. This week, you just have me on commentary. Unfortunately, everyone is a little bit busy. Everyone has their own life going on. However, I am still here, still ready to deliver you some extra Gundam. I am still hoping to see some new cards, some new builds. However, round one is getting underway as we speak, so I am going to quickly get up the parents. I know here we are going to have. We have Gravity Eye versus Locust to start us off on table 1. Locust, as I get everything in, and once again I forgot to get a lot of the stuff's over on for set 2. I keep needing to download images, but I've been very busy. Unfortunately, I too have a life outside of Gundam. I have full-time employment. I have my own locals. And then when usually I would do things yesterday, I was busy doing other things. For I do have a life outside of card games. It's very sad. If people want to throw money at me so I can have just card games, that would be excelente. Card games being a 9 to 5 would be pretty darn nice. Anyway, we're about to get started with round 1. Dice have been rolled, turns have been determined. It looked like Locust has won that, getting the EX resource. A second still seems like to be the way to go. I will say, I'm still very interested for when, down the line, things are going to change, where like going first and going second is like going to not really be an issue, where there'll still be a preference for decks, but where like going first isn't a bad thing because you give your opponent second. Because I imagine there's going to be a bunch of aggro decks prefer going first because they'd be on the play. However, there's too much stuff where having that extra level early can give your opponent too much of an advantage. So instead, you have to choose second to make sure you get the play. You get to do what you want a time ahead. But also, what have people been cooking recently? I want to know your list. I want to know what people are building with the new cards. Or have you not built anything at all? Because I myself have been in the kitchen, changing around deck lists, building things up. So yeah, I've been able to change around a couple things. It looks like Gravity is leaving the table. This is a little concerning. And they have back. It looks like they are getting a light. It seems... I think it's just because where their desk is a little bit a little dark, so they're getting a little more light, so it's easier to see the cards. It seems.
Ethan?
I think specifically for the shield area, it's hard to see. But they can get a dice on that. I'm coming in with the G Eternal layer promo base as well. Which honestly, I'm a big fan of these. And mainly because there's an aerial one that I wanted, and I got an aerial one, luckily. So I'm happy that I get to see, use my girl. give the aerial some rep, because I have like, I will say I have like a main set of resources which are the foil aerials and and now I have the aerial EX base. So I get to even though like aerial isn't the best and aerial doesn't really fit in the decks I want to play currently, or that I have been playing currently, I still get to rep like my favorite mobile suit, which I think is a really nice thing. With the way like all the resources are set up, where even everyone wants to play the cards and the mobile suits they like. Everyone wants to be like, this is my favorite mobile suit, I want to get to play this. But if they're playing it competitively and they go, what I want to play isn't a good deck, and just folds to what is good right now, it's a little unlucky, a little disheartening. I will say Gravity Eye just going hell for leather, it seems. What would be aggro, but it seems the Locust is just not seeing much as they have their 2 resources. Yep, and just has an infinitely wide board already. Oops, seeing a base is handy right now, though. That's a 6 health base. Gets to play the Anksha, pings the Jim. That's probably going to swing into the Genoese, because that only has 1 attack. Means it gets 5, means it gets a chance to take something out. I think kind of banking that the Jegons are going to swing at shields to take that out. However, a Gundam link here would be devastating, because that would just mean it'd be an instant take out of all the shields currently. So yeah, that would just be 3. No, pops an early show resolve. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good thing, because they're ahead. The bases obviously makes it very difficult. But yeah, that base getting a lot of value. Oh, and the gun tank to finish off the wide board. Locust gonna need something big right now. Gravity is just seeing so much. And they can get away with playing the early show resolve just because they have that much board pressure already. Usually playing show resolve this early is a death sentence, but the fact that they have so much board presence and it's just going, oh, I have played every other card in my hand, I need to fill up a little bit. I have so much board presence and my opponent has nothing right now. Anksha takes out a unit though, that's good, that's what they need. Close combat as well to take out another. And that's probably going to take out one of the Jegons, take out a Zaku too. Good removal of pressure. And gets another unit down. I will say, if it wasn't for that show resolve, maybe Gravity might be falling behind now. This has been really, really well played. Although I did just see a Anksha in Gravity's hand, so the other Anksha is very soon going to be not around, I believe. So many pings in Gravity's early hand. This is rough. Once again, just everything at shields. I think that was a Merida to hand. And a Jim gun. Oh, and he's just showing him on webcam that he has that gun tank. It does have the link though. Probably gonna ping a. Oh no, I disagree with that. Oh wait, no, it's a 3-2, isn't it? Never mind. I am being dumb. It's a 3-2. I don't know why my brain was thinking 3-3. Yeah, that'll take out the undamaged. I'm very much going to die to a thing next turn. It needs to put the damage on that Anksha though. Which if they don't, I am going to let him know. I think they've just pointed it out. That he needs to put the 2 damage on the Anksha. Well, that dies. There it is. Everything's been wrapped up. Yeah, very heavily on the back foot right now. 3 cards in hand. Also, another... If a Locust sees another base, I think it might just save them. While like green-blue is the significantly faster deck, the new type pink can survive just that little bit longer, as they have access like some higher level cards, some bit more mid-range stuff. But if they can just get like one, like if Locust can just deal 1 damage to some of these units, the extra pink from the Marita just gets to say, no, you're done, you're gone. However, if one of those cards in Gravity's hand is a link, it could just be game over. Yep, and there's an Anksha as well. There's another 2 pings in hand from Gravity. Yeah, and just decides that he's just going to sacrifice all the ping. I don't know why he took the dice off the Anksha. Yeah, there needs to be a base scene now. Oh, even then it wouldn't be enough because he has a 2 to break it. Another Kshatriya link, and I think it's saved. Just some way to take out one of those units. 2 heals, draws a card, but I don't think that's going to be it though. 3, oh, but he has the Amaro link. Oh, but it's not quite enough. I think it's all going to come down It's all going to come down to that last shield. It has been very well played from Locust, but Gravity has just seen so many pings. And he doesn't have the extra shield. Gravity just seeing so much there. Yeah, just going through and looking at that, I think we saw 3 Ankhs and 3 gun tanks. And playing aggro with your opponent trying to swing in, trying to get their value back, just being able to take out their units just on a clapback is massive. It just means you can keep building your board. And you can just keep expanding what you need, removing their stuff without having to damage yours. So everything you do is at shields. And that's what aggro's greatest strength is so much pressure. Very well played from Gravity and also well played from Locust. As I think Locust did everything right, but just unfortunately Gravity also played very, very well. And just saw exactly everything they needed that game. And because seeing as that was a pretty fast game, I think we might have time to go and look at another game as well. The bonus of seeing seeing some quick games. So here is a game that still has something to give. We have Dynodast versus a Levo Fed. And I will say, coming into it and looking at this board state, it is not looking great for Libofed. Dynodest has a very, very big board. However, we don't know what Libofed is playing. We know it's blue-white. We can see that. But I've also seen a couple of people playing different lists. Yeah, I've seen Psycho Gundam make some appearances in some online games I've been playing. I've seen 2, 3, 4. He's counting 7, which sounds like Epion to me. And we do see the Epion. Are we going to see the Zex to go with it? If we see Zex, this could be very good. Because Epion is a card that just generates so much pressure on its own when paired with a Zex. Because just at any point, if your opponent blocks something, if you kill a unit that blocks, it gets right back up and it swings again. If you block it, high chance it survives, so it just stands back up again and swings again. However, we do get a freedom bounced. It comes right back to hand. Deciding whether or not to block it. But lets it through, possibly saving this for a blocking one of the other threats. Although it looks like Dano's looking at just swinging out here. Only got one blocker. Or maybe fearing the pair with... There's also just chances fearing the pair with the Death Scythe. Says he'll take that one, but a pair on the Death Scythe would just be a death sentence. Yeah, but the wing takes it, gets a carry to hand. Yeah, it looks like Dino's just swinging out, saying, "I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna take out what I can." Another Epion from Shields. And a Rigdiaz. Seems to me like it's going to be a little too late for a Libofed to stabilize there. He needs to see his X now to be able to take out 2 units, and he also at the same time needs to see more blockers. Either that, or he needs to have the memory to put one Zex on this Epion, and then put down another Epion. No, he also doesn't have, but he does rest the base. Definitely checking out what he has. Unfortunately, this board state does not look conducive to a what Libofed wants. It's a very, very wide board. Remember, even if he does get a positive trade with his Epion, if it's not the wing, then he just gets to swing and breach through, but everything else has enough AP to take out the base in a single hit. Yep, just takes out the wing. But again, needs to be able to stop 3 things now. He needs to have 3 blockers out. At least. But that's not going to be it, though. It's not enough. He does get to just shoot something in the foot. He says, "No, you are doing nothing to me." Because if he swings at what he chooses to target with the freedom build, with the freedom effect giving a -2 on pair, so something for the turn, and then getting to swing again, it goes sort of -4 in total. is basically just you just cripple something. Does see a striker packs, but again, it's not going to be enough. You know, everything on board has more than enough health. Hey, that should bounce the Epion as well. So yeah. No, I don't think it matters too much in general. But the Epion should have been bounced off that. But I think that's going to be our games now. I think every other game is going to be done. Yep, that was indeed our last game. It's going to be a bit of a shorter Sudden today. We have 7 people signed up, so a nice small one, looking like it's going to be 3 rounds. Yeah, 2 rounds if things happen very, very quickly. And the pair down, and a person that gets paired down loses. Which would be a very fast Sundom. Probably that would be a speedrun of a Sundom, I'm not going to lie. However, I am glad though, even though Epion lost, I'm glad that we have seen some new cards. That's one. It's a pairing. It's a pairing I've been trying to cook with a little bit because I think Epion has a lot of potential to be very good for late game value, especially for helping if you're trying to build blue-white to be able to deal with a green-white a little more. Yes, this one did lose against green-white, but maybe, well, you know, I think Freedom isn't the card you want to pair with Epion. Because Freedom is a good card. But I think it's just 2 late games that you just, if you take anything too much, and it's an expensive card. So yeah, like, it requires too much on your turn, I think. If you're playing mid-range, it's such a good card. Because you can just give, if it's piloted, you go, oh sick, I'm going to give this -2. And then you just pilot anything else white that wants to swing, and you go, sick. That's another -2. It's another -2. And you can generate a lot of value with that. Whereas if you play your more defensive cards and you just focus more on seeing your ale strikes, more on your perfect strikes, you're going to be able to hold off a little better. Which I think in the long run is going to do a lot more favors. But you know, that's just me. I am only a man who has his own opinions. I am not the be-all end-all of Gundam. Well, but I like to think that I have an okay grasp on what has potential and what can be good. Biggest difference is I've not been to a regional yet to prove it. I have my new type challenges that I've done. I've done really well on my new type challenges. I've been to 2. I've always come top 8, 1st and 7th respectively with my attempts. I have my new type rebuild. I'm very happy because God, that card looked good. And I am not immune to shiny cardboard propaganda. It is always gonna get me. I'm thinking about 5 minutes we're going to be setting up for round 2. And again, because of the way it's turned out, we ended up with 7 players. There is a chance on this being the final round. Which, if so, we get a speedrun. We gotta go fast. Yeah, I hope everyone's had a nice weekend though. If you go to school or you have a 9 to 5, like me, I have the 9 to 5. It's back to work tomorrow. That's what we have Sundays for. Sunday to just try and ease out. We relax. We enjoy ourselves with card games. We enjoy ourselves with streams. And we just kind of hang out and chill out. As it looks like Okay, so round 2 are up again. We have Gravity Eye versus Oni X Gecko. Erster. What's Erster? Is that Easter, but a little like is struggling to say it? My timer is a little bit broken. There we go, I fixed the timer. Oh wait, never mind, there's 4 undefeated. There will not be a 2-round Sundom. For some reason, my brain just completely forgot about the existence of a bye, giving us the extra undefeated. But you know, that's also just Sunday things. Just Sunday things is completely forgetting about how maths works and how byes work. I am a professional, I promise. Yeah, we are set up now. Just deciding for turns. Are we going to see Gravity Eye high roll again? Are we going to see them with infinite pingers? I believe it was Oni was one of the people was on a bye last. He was on the bye last round. Let me double check. Round 1, Oni X was on the bye. So we don't yet know have any information what Oni is playing. The question is, will they be able to handle the rush? Gravity Eye just being consistently one of the best rush players we've seen in Sundom, consistently playing it. And also being one of the players that just plays the Earth Federation rush, you know, playing the Gigans. They're playing the Sailors, playing a little bit more, playing the Rezels, focusing a little more on the blue side of Rush than the green. Which we have seen can have massively high potential, especially with the Gigans coming down as early as they did, because if your opponent just has the gyms out because they're playing Rush to respond with, the extra like HP point is so crucial for you to not be able to be traded into. And also, if you're behind, it's crucial for you to actually be able to trade into other things as well. And we see turn 1, they have the Genoace just down. Genoace just being like the cooler Zaku one. Oof, but it looks like it's going to be a slightly slower game. Potentially, if Oni X can see their blockers playing white, if they see them, then they're in with a chance. As white has a good chance against that. If it's not green, it's a very good chance because they're going to be playing very, very defensively. But we see him go wide again. If there's a blocker in hand, then I think things are going to be okay. If they just straight pass, in danger, show me the blocker. And it's the Elf Wraith. That's a really, really good one to see. And depending on the what comes out now from Gravity. Yep, just lets this one through, says, okay, I know you play your archers, I know you play your gun cannons. I'm only going to let you take this one. Yep, plays the Corsica base, just uses up everything, says, I'm just going to get an extra unit, I'm going to go a little bit wider. depending on Oni's hand, this could be good for them. If they just see more blockers, could be very, very crucial. Pays one, goes digging again. I can imagine right now a sword strike would look very, very delicious if they had that in hand. Oh, but it's green white, so a little more risky. Pitches the high cost unit. Finds a striker pact. Gets another 2/4 blocker. Yep. But he doesn't swing the Elf Wraith. Instead, tries to play the reactive game. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I think I really, really would have wanted to see that go through. Oh, but the unforeseen comes through! Unforeseen! I swear, every time I see unforeseen incident, it is never ever where it needs to be. Where's he put that, though? Possibly just giving that to one of the other units, so a pilot can't just buff it straight up again. So honestly, maybe that's a decent shout. Puts it on the Genoese. That way, even if you get a +2 health pilot, it's still not another swing getting through. However, Gravity's still going wide. He needs, and I mean needs, to take some swings here. He didn't take out that Zaku 2 and then didn't block anything that swung that time. So he needs to take something out now. And if anything, I need to see an Ale Strike link. Otherwise, not blocking anything is going to be so bad for him. I need to see him rest 4. Does have the Sword Strike link. Okay. I can allow it. That's an easy swing. You swing to the Zaku, you take it out. You take no damage, you bounce the Tolgi's token, you say, okay, that's it. Both of them are just removed from the board, from the game. Slowly slowing down. That Sword Strike is going to come in very handy for slowing down the pace, though. Might be a little too late. I think if you already had that in hand, I think I personally would have burned the EX for it. But because we know he's playing green-white. But if he's scared about burning it because it's going to take him longer to get to that wing 0 that he potentially has in hand. Does block it. I think he's decided that keeping the Sword Strike is going to be a little bit more crucial. But there's a Gundam. Does he have the ammo? He does. Gravity just seeing everything he needs. And another unforeseen. I honestly, I just put that straight. Oh, where would I put that? That's like when I'd honestly have to put that on the Gundam, but just decides to just swing straight at shields. If he doesn't take out this Sword Strike, this could get a little messy. Nope, it takes out the Lifrith. So it looks like, well, I guess he put the -3 on the Jigen. Yeah, again, just so many cards going so wide. Yeah, most likely swing into the Gundam, give that the minus, bounce something. Because you can swing into the Gundam and survive, and the Gundam is going to become the biggest pain point. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more turns until the Wing Zero, but I'm not sure it's going to be able to survive that long if he doesn't see any more blockers. We need to see so many more blockers. Gets rid of 2, 4. We need to see at least 2 blockers come down. Yep, decides to take out the Gundam. What's going to get bounced? Takes away a Zaku too. Now either needs to be able to take out some, like, link and bounce something away, or just place down some more blockers. We see 4, there's an Ale Strike. And there is a Kira. Yep, getting rid of... Even though the result was damaged, you might usually might not want to do that. However, it is the more expensive thing, and also is the thing that's going to be able to deal back the most damage. But this way, you take no damage back in return. And now is not dead on board, but close. Not dead on board, but close. But Gravity still has a fairly big hand. Duo Maxwell to hand. And a Hero to hand. Are we going to see the link? I think I saw an Archer in hand, which is going to be very painful. Oof. Another Corsica just gets to go wide, just gets to replace a card in hand. And now just plays out the Archer, shoots the thing that bounces. Okay, playing out the Corsica, that's just BMing. That's BMing. Come on, Gravity. Oh, so many pilots. Yeah, Gravity just flexing that they had the answers. There was no coming back. Gravity once again taking things with ease. But just goes to show aggro is still pretty good. Still a very strong deck. However, aggro is the cringe deck because it is also, unfortunately, the least interesting deck, I think. It's one of the least interesting decks to watch. Because it swings, it goes fast. It is the go burr deck. Do I see my pings? Do I see my 1-drops? If yes, congrats, you have a good chance. However, to play, very fun because card go burr. The dichotomy of playing and spectating and commentating. As we enter table 2, we have Dino, Das, and their opponent, G Shadow 007. Shadow 007, whose name just about fits in the layout. It seems like we have green-white versus something and white. And green and white just says, I am going to go very wide. Okay, thanks, bye. That's a level 7 for G Shadow, so if he's playing green, one turn away from the big boy, pays 3. Sure resolve, so it's blue. Needs to play for that late game. Swings the wing and he just lets him take the wing. Probably the wide board giving a lot of confidence to just be able to swing him with whatever comes out. If no more blockers come out, then he is just a swing, 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 I guess. Applies a lot of pressure. Three for Korska base. That's going to absorb an extra hit if there's no pilot and no link. Gets his Leos. Go to, and we see the blocker. Tolgu's best in set. I will say, Seto Domo. I've been playing a bit more of the tall goose list, and I am enjoying it. So maybe you might be onto something with tall goose best in set. Potentially. We'll have to see what happens in Bristol if we end up taking something tall geese related. And you know what? If I do well with the tall geese at Bristol, I will hail you as the prophet. Yeah, green and white just saying, like I said, I will hail you as the prophet. If you are indeed, if it does well, I will hail you as the prophet. Set 1, you were definitely incorrect. Tall Goose was not the best in set. However, set 2, I've been using it, and I gotta say, there might be some sauce. I played a Zex and Tall Geese. I played a Zex deck at locals on Friday, and I did indeed win with it. So maybe, potentially, we have something now. Which I'm very happy about. Because that means new decks are pretty cool. And I like new decks. I like being able to play new things. Especially as I feel like the way you need to play the Zex deck, it kind of pushes me into playing Control in a little, like, in a better way compared to some of the other decks that have been built up around it. But currently things are looking very, very rough. For a G Shadow, it's a very big board. Is that a 4? Who is that? Oh no, it's the 3 pilots. Just realized he needs to get rid of something. He needs, and I mean needs to get rid of a like, if he can take out the Ale Strike and then play a base, he might be okay. Sees an Ale Strike, sees a Kira, that's going to bounce out the blocker token, gets rid of another thing. No, he doesn't get rid of he doesn't bounce the token? Okay, he does. That's down a tribute. She goes, oh, he bounced the elf right. He goes, wait, no, the token. Maybe it's going to be a bit cheeky there. Like, he has it open for unforeseen. You need to swing. And it does go through. Like, the issue is, no matter what happens there, you need to take that swing. Because that's what's going to do the most damage. And the fact you've always been able to bounce away a token as well means there's one less swing. And he just passes it. He scoops it there. He does not have the resources to take out more. Oh, and he just shows as well. He has a high maneuver. He has a high maneuver swing to take it out and finish it off. And that is the game down on that 6. So that means our final is going to be Dino Dash versus Gravity Eye. However, while that round gets set up, I do want to shout out our friends over at Spell Galaxin. Just want to shout out and say that they have changed the day that they're happening to be every Wednesday. Now, it was on a Thursday, it's now on a Wednesday. EU only, because they do give out participation packs to the top 8, which means shipping from Europe to anywhere outside of Europe is a pain. I'm just going to do that. However, they have some pretty cool guys, and make sure to join the Spell Galaxin Discord. I will post a link in just a minute when I find where it is that I put it. It is nice and saved just here, so I can go Control C. I can get up the chat and go Control V and paste, and you can join Spell Galaxin in their Discord. Now, this is happening every Wednesday, like some is every Sunday. Spell Galaxin every Wednesday. Do be sure, if you have the freedom to, you can go and check them out. However, I do believe we have one more round of Sundom to go. One more round that is going to happen. However, it seems like there's going to be a small delay as a Danadas PC has decided to freeze. We all love it when we have technical issues. But yeah, I'm enjoying the new set. I was a little hesitant at first because I was unsure of like how good things were going to be. I felt like there wasn't going to be too much of a change, but I feel like it's opened up different avenues of play to build decks slightly. Like, it's the same deck, but built slightly differently. The same, so for example, with the blue-white control, if you play more of a Zex-sided list, it gives you another way to play. We've had Unicorn lists, we've had Freedom lists, we have Justice lists, we've had Fusion lists, we've even had Aerial played in there. No one plays Aerial anymore. And by that I mean people I hang around with don't play Aerial anymore. I still believe Aerial Rebuild is a very good splashable card, but it can take away from things, which is very unfortunate because I really, really like Aerial. The Blue-White Control has seen another mix-up that it can have. A new type ping has the new Haman cards they can use to help give it a little more that it wants to, that it can use. But the pairings are up. As we get ready for the final round. of Dino Dast versus Gravity Eye. They only have one shot, one opportunity, and they got to make it count. They're shuffling their decks. They're rolling their dice. They're choosing their turns. That's a good roll from Dino Dast. Rolling 11, it seems. Easily getting that win. Chooses to go second. We know he's playing blue-white. Wanting that resource to be able to get that acceleration. The thing is, will they be able to hold off everything? Because we know Gravity Eye is playing Rush. And we know Gravity Eye is very good at playing Rush. Mulliganing away their hand, hoping to probably find a little bit more, find some more pingers, find some more early costs. Oh, I'm excited. I think in this matchup, I think I would personally say that Gravity Eye is slightly favoured. For Green-White is a little less known for having as much. However, recently I've seen Green-White built with so many more blockers. Where it's become a point of contention where it's just going, you either play high roll Green-White, or you play, I'm going to just wait and stall until I can play Wing Zero and try and take over the game with that. However, there's no one drop this time for Gravity. I mean, it's a pretty safe overflowing, pitching a Mula Flagger. And we do see the Zaku come down. I did see the very glimpse of a gun cannon. We're going to see the blocker. Yep, there's the Elfrith, nice and quick. I think Dino Dast has immediately realised the deck he's coming up against, especially with Gravity just being very, very consistent on aggro. Both 1 year Rush and on Earthfed as he is today. Oh, decides to block that. I don't think I would have blocked that. I would have let that through because this is just what's going to happen. I think that's a mistake that's going to cost him in the long run. So Elfrith could have got more blocks off you. If you just leave it, you just let it through and then you say, okay, I'm going to block the second one. You get to take out both units. You get to play out another... Like, you'd be playing another blocker now. Because you'd be able to take out one on the swing back. There'd be one less unit on the board. So I think that's going to cost him. I think he's just looking for those blockers right now, which he desperately needs. But yeah, that Zaku, the start of Zaku 2 is one of the rare few things where if that swings first, you want to let it through. Because I don't think you can open yourself up to just being pinged this early on. He's going between 1 and 3, so I'm feeling Gundam Link. No, choosing to opt for Corsica base. This is where I'm hoping that there's a... I'm hoping that the reason Amula Flaga was pitched Oh, that's brutal. These are just free swings. Oh, and this means I can't even get bounced with Sword Strike now. This is rough. Gets a hero to hand, so possible bird mode link if he's playing it. L-Strike swings. I think he's just deciding that, everything's going to be suspended anyway. Just get rid of a token, give the ammo back. Because he needs to swing into all these other units. Most likely this takes out the generator gun tank. No, goes for the 1-to-1. Guess he's just going to make him as least amount of pingable as possible. Right now, is my guess. I'm guessing just fearing the double ping coming down and just removing the hard work, and that would leave up like a 4. Then again, the 4 would have done it. Oh. Puts the ammo back on there. I'm guessing that's just swinging in to the thing, and then that's just going to be 2, I'm guessing. Like just 2 more pingers, says bang bang. Anksha, gun tank, yep. I think in hindsight, probably well played. Plays out with more pingers. Gravity just always seeing these. However, just taking that turn off could be the killer if there is a base. If there is something he can do to turn these cards sideways. Or if he just sees has more blockers in hand. I think regardless, a base would be so good right now. It looks like there's only 1 card in hand. We've seen an Amro get used early. So if that card's another Amro and he's just waiting, we see that. We see a Striker Pact coming down. Going for the 2-4. Which I would say is the correct choice. Resting even more. Put a Kira on it. Means it can get rested, but... Oh, and there's a Show Resolve. That Show Resolve feels like it's going to be played pretty quickly. I think I saw another gun tank in hand from that little flash. There's the 3. Is that going to be a Gundam or a Show Resolve? It's going to be... Oh, it's another Corsica base. Just getting 2 units now. Able to do this because as aggro, you do not care about your shields at this point. You just care about being able to go as wide as possible, taking out as many shields as possible. And he knows that he's still like 3 turns away from being wing zeroed. So he's pretty safe to just go as wide as he wants. Probably debating putting down a final unit this turn for the next turn, or just go for that Show Resolve to draw cards. Does just go for the draw. And he just passes, says, I'm going to just swing out next turn. Show Resolve comes down. He's probably looking for something to bounce, something to block. Or just something to be able to deal with at least one of these units this time. Gets rid of a hero. Yep, just does care. That bounces out a Leo token. And probably just stays there, because now... What are you going to do? He's only got 1 swing that can go through on board. But there's another Corsica base in Gravity's hand. He's going to be eating away at his own shields, but it is going to just let him go very wide for free. However, if Dino can keep building up this wall of blockers, he's going to get to a point where he's just going to... there's something is going to have to give. And he does just go for the Corsica base. Which, honestly, I don't hate. He's building up a full board that he can swing with. And then just immediately... as long as he has more units than he has blockers, you can just keep going. His hand's healthy, because he'll just be able to go down and play even more units. Gravity showed why he's one of like the premier rush players on Sundom. And we do see an Amaro come through. I mean, he just lets it take the Ale Strike. That does free up more space for another unit to get played down. Yep, and just blocks. As I think a Dano knows, any swings that get through is like one too many. Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to take every swing he can get right now. And that'll just free up the board to be able to do even more. Yep, there's a swing that gets through. Oh no, he just trades out. That means he has yet another pinger in hand. He just keeps seeing everything that pings, he keeps seeing. However, he's not dead on board just yet, and he has the blocker. And just immediately plays down the overflowing, knows what it needs to look for. Pitches another hero, he knows he can't keep these. Finds a Sword Strike and finds a Kira. That's one of the tokens gone. Something permanently removed. Not coming back. If there's another blocker in hand, it is going to be very, very good. But no, just passes there. Wasn't able to take out one of the standing units with a wing. However, Sword Strike still take that. And also, that's something that can be recurring as well. They're just going to keep getting in the way, so Gravity might have to just think about dealing with that. Pays 3 for Show of Resolve is filling the hand up. Gravity just seeing everything as a rush play that you'd want to see. But Dino playing it very, very well. And another Corsica base. We're approaching Wing Zero territory now, though. I will say, this is probably the longest match Gravity Eye has had to play in a long while. Just swings one. Just gets rid of it. Says, you can take this. Gravity, again, another gun tank. Needed to take care of that. But he finds the base! He finds the 6 cost, he finds the 6 health base. And he has no big unit, and there's no big units on board for a Gravity Run. And there's the 0! He just clears everything. This is a very, very big swing around. Especially with how many Corsica bases have been played. All of a sudden, if there's no links, no big units, there's another big clock on for Gravity right now. Just says goes wide. And a second one, the double wing 0 comes down. That is so rough. That is so difficult. Dino Dash play this incredibly. Gravity has played so well like this entire Sundom. However, the 3-wing zeros coming down is always going to be such a struggle to deal with. And we see more blockers now coming out as well. Yep, there's more blockers. And now just gets to swing twice. I'd say the sequencing is bad if something comes up that can happen to these blockers. Yep, and there it goes. I think now this is Dino's game. Incredibly, incredibly well played. And there it is. Gravity played that so well. We're seeing so much. But Dino as well, just figuring out exactly when he needs to wall up. I think from the way he was playing, I think he had those 2-wing zeros for a while, as there was zero hesitation on those plays. He knew exactly that he just needed to make it to level 8. He'd played that before he'd even got his resource. He was like, it's level 8, I am playing this out. Incredibly, incredibly well played from both players then. I know I complained about the Rush matchup before, but that was an incredibly, like the Rush decks currently to participate and to commentate. But that was an incredibly good matchup, incredibly fun to watch. And again, congrats to Dino for winning Sundom. Getting to go 3-0 today. And Dino joining a small number of people that have won multiple Sundom Gunday fights now, multiple Sundums, since we started our proper season, since the release. So congrats again to Dino Das for making it. We just need to wait for, they say, one more game to wrap up, and then we can take a full look at the standings and see how everyone did. Oh, that was a incredibly good matchup. The double wing 0 coming in clutch again. Wing 0 is still just such a good card. It is incredibly powerful. I'd say it's probably still the best singular card we have to just play on its own. Because there are other really good cards, you know. But I think just none compares to the power it has on its own as being a deal 3 damage clipboard to everything. If you're playing green, you can play one of it and be like, oh, if I see this, that's great. If my opponent goes wide hands and puts up, you go, surprise, kaboom. A lot of other cards are very powerful, like to require a link to come down. So, for example, Epion has been shown to be really powerful, but that requires a Zex link, so it's not just on its own. You need to build just around it. Very, very good game. And I think the final match also has just rounded up, which says to me that it is time for the end. Obviously, the worst part of Sundom is the ending, but here we have standings. In first place, and congratulations to Dino Dast, and also to Gravity L for coming second. They are our prize winners today. And then in third place, we have G Shadow 007. Fourth place, Oni X Gecko. Fifth place, Livo Fed. Sixth, Locust, and seventh, June High. Congratulations and thank you to everyone that has played today. Again, it always means so much to see people joining in. As many or few that do, it goes up and down from week to week. I like the fact that we have our little community that can come together every Sunday to play. It really means a lot. But with that, a smaller event means a smaller Sundom stream. And thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you all next week, but not the week after that, for I have a regional that I'm going to, which I'm very excited for. Sundom will still be happening, however, there will be no stream. I know, you can cry now, you can let your tears flow, but I will be elsewhere, attempting to get my invite to the European finals. And with that, I will see you all next week. Hope you all look forward to it. I always look forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. As I quickly find the end stream button. There we go. Goodbye.